Playing God by Polyphia. It broke my brain. It broke me. It was mental. In my video on it, I think I must have said the word mental about 20 times. This is mental music. Who are these guys? This is mental. That's mental. I'm going to need to mentally prepare for this one. I received a lot of comments telling me to check out the unplugged version, so that's what we're doing. Apparently, this is Tim Henson playing through the whole song live in one take with just a backing track. I went to search for it and I found this video, the unplugged POV, point of view. It looks like Tim has a GoPro on his head or something, so I mean that should be really cool to see him playing from his perspective. Different as well, right? So that's what we're going to be reacting to first, and then we'll do the regular unplugged version afterwards, which looks to be more of a normal camera angle. I don't think I will ever get used to this song. I went on a road trip recently. I was not driving. I was the passenger princess. I put on this song and let's just say that wasn't the smartest move by me because the person driving was blown away by it. They could have crashed. It's just a crazy song. I've listened to it many times since I did my video. At the time of recording, I released that last week. This video now will be a bit more casual than my usual style. I don't want to make it too long, and we've got 2 run-throughs of this song to get through. I've made a video on the song already, so if you want to see that, where I go through the music, the harmony, the structure, etc., then make sure you watch that first, as I won't go into that in this video. First things first, I think we simply have to comment on his painted nails and those fluffy slippers and fluffy trousers, it looks like. I mean, ultimate levels of comfort for probably the least comfortable bit of guitar playing there is. Although to him, he probably barely even feels it. So cool though. I really like videos like this, getting this perspective. A few things I noticed, especially when it comes to the harmonics. See that the precision required on them to have just the amount of weight. The slides up and down as well, so cool to see. Other examples of where you have to keep one of your fingers on the fret. So watch his index finger. And of course his plucking style. I pointed that out in my first video and I got a lot of comments saying how he's plucking, but also plucking with his fingers. So plucking with the plectrum and with his fingers. What a great way to see that here. Especially when he moves from flicking the bass note with the plectrum and then straight into the strumming. All right, let's carry on. We've got some rapid notes being played now. Is it weird that I feel like I'm getting a cramp in my hand just from watching it? Mental. Look at that positioning just as we've paused here, and this is mid-movement as well. I don't want to stop at absolutely everything, and there are about 50 things in that last 30 seconds I want to talk about, but I'll just pick 1 or 2. In the next playthrough, the actual unplugged version, I'll try and talk about some other things as well. There was a little slide that we got that's very different to the studio recording. If I remember correctly, he goes to a chord. Let me try and find it. Right, so the end of the run. That little slide up. In the official studio version, the official video, they're very bare, quick chords. I mean, it almost sounds like a single note, to be honest. But these little differences are very cool to notice. And just after that, when we move from these rapid notes to these arpeggiated chords, they sound a bit less in this version for obvious reasons. If we hear that in the original, It basically sounds like one guitar in the unplugged versus two in the studio version. The consequent effect of that is a lot more fluid. It sounds like there's some sliding done on the strings, some contrary motion arpeggios. I'd like to stress I'm not taking anything away from this unplugged version at all. In a sense, it's actually a bit more crazy because we're seeing it POV. Studio versions, I always say, you can retake them as many times as you want. You can edit them in the software, cut and paste parts from here to there, all that kind of thing. Unplugged, like this, you have one go at it, one take. So impressive. And seeing this hand movement, I still don't think it does it justice how rapidly and how dexterous his hands are, even in this POV footage. But I don't need to say that because I'm sure everyone watching this video right now is very aware of how ridiculous this is. That's cool. All right, just before the groovy bit where the whistling comes in, which, by the way, I have been told the whistling, they got off Fiverr, like an outsourcing website, for $5 or something. Best $5 ever spent. That bit we just heard, the relationship between the left and right hand, a bit weird to say that because it's his left and right hand, but it's almost just like muscle memory or pattern recognition. It's so smooth. And obviously that's right at the top of the fretboard as well. You know, his thumb cannot move any more than this. So there's this extra limitation of playing up there. We'll carry on with the funky bit now, just a moment. I just want to quickly go back to this bit where I went boom, boom, because the harmony is intriguing me. And in the original, I'll play it just so it's a bit clearer. So let me switch over to my little keyboard here. So in my original video, I mentioned that this song is basically 3 chords: E, minor, and then C and B. Simple harmonic foundation, absolutely crazy building upon it with everything else. There you'll hear that the bass kind of jumps down, we get. And then with the other main part on top moving in contrary motion. The first chord is interesting. That's a tritone called the Devil's Interval because of how weird it is. And then here you'd think that we resolve into G major. But that's not what it sounds like, is it? We don't get that. So our 3 chords, as I said before, E, and then C. So maybe we end up in C. So what would that sound like? I'm not so sure. There's our C chord. But this note here is turning it into a major 7th, which is basically just quite a groovy version of the chord. Still doesn't sound exactly right. So I'm thinking what's happening is they're staying in this E chord. And by just adding in a quick little chromatic in the bass as well, gives it a bit of oomph and can kind of change the harmonic structure. If this is our main basis for most of it, then they'd want to change things up a little bit maybe. So it's kind of like staying there and then very quickly moving back to C. And then finally resolving on that B. All right, let's carry on with the funky bit. Oh, sorry, I am sorry, but I also received quite a few comments telling me to check out the making of Playing God, which is Tim's video talking about how they made the song. People wanted to see a reaction video to that, and if you're still watching this now, you might be interested in this. What I'm going to do is I will react to it after this. That is cool. Be honest, who would have guessed that? But I won't include it in this YouTube video because we're already going to be listening to the song twice. The video will just be too long. So my reaction to that, the making of Playing God, will be in the pinned comment. If you want to see that too, it's on my Patreon, and there's a bunch of other additional content and videos on there for loads of other artists as well. All right, now let's carry on and maybe finish up the song. That middle finger is so important. The bass line not changing. Now to index. That was cool. It went middle finger, dominating the bass line, then ring finger for a little bit, and then to the index finger. The harmonics control is, yeah, mad. Sorry, I need water. It sounds so bad, but I'm so tensed up watching this and just making weird imitations like ding-a-ding. That's me trying to imitate his right hand and his left hand and stuff. I think it's just giving me a dry throat and I don't want to cough. Wow. Wow. Put the plectrum down. Well, that's insane. Let's go straight to the unplugged video now. I'm wary of the length of this video already. I don't think I'll need to say too much in this one. I'll probably just pause here and there briefly for copyright reasons. I hope it's not too much of an issue. That was intense watching from his POV. Watching from this angle, I wonder if it will look easier at least. Watching his hands go like that, which is bizarre to say because this song is anything but easy, I know. So my initial thoughts, one, he obviously just looks so chilled with it, just, ooh. But it's his thumb. I didn't really notice in the POV video, and a lot of guitarists, classical guitarists especially, have long nails on their finger plucking hands. Here, it looks much more like he's using his thumb whilst holding the plectrum to play the lower strings. Just focus on his thumb. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's just the camera angle blocking the plectrum. So when the plectrum plays, it looks like it's his thumb. If we go back to the POV video, it's exclusively played with the plectrum and he has a shorter nail. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. was just covering his left hand because his right hand here just looks so smooth. It's so fluid, like just even moving the plectrum and plucking with his right hand. Try that. Just cover his left hand so you're just looking at his right hand and it almost does not match the music. I love the bass line. I was mentioning how in the POV version, you know, he's switching between the three fingers, which one is dominating the bass line at any one point. Now I'm kind of actually listening to it a bit more. Lovely offbeats between the bass, dum ch, and then the chord coming in, and how the bass is mostly the same note. Causing dissonance because it's stubborn, it's not moving, whilst the chords around it does move, but then it does move just like down and up, but very simply. Classic cadential movement. I think after I stop filming this, I'll need to have a break from playing God. My brain cannot handle it. I think that's a good thing, by the way. When the camera's filming you and you don't know what to do. Ridiculous to just do that, unplugged, live, one take, and just having a little scroll, a little browse, doing some shopping on Amazon. No, that's mental. That's mental. Oh, there's that word mental coming out again. We will leave that one there. I feel very well versed with playing God now. The original video, unplugged, POV, regular unplugged, and now we are going to watch the making of playing God, which should be interesting. So if you want to join me with that one, head on over to the link in the pinned comment, and if not, well, thank you as always for watching. Would really appreciate a like to help out the algorithm. So do comments, comment down below other songs by Tim or Polyphia that you want me to check out. Hit that little subscribe button if you haven't, with the notification bell turned on, and I will see you in the next one.